Please, roll call.
Alderman Cole.
Yes.
Alderman Lazara.
Here.
Alderman Shockey.
Here.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Here.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman Winger.
Here.
Alderman Woods.
Here.
Mayor Police.
Here. Quorum present. Tonight is the second public hearing regarding the electric power aggregation plan of governance and operation for the city of Wooddale in accordance with Illinois law. The notice of the public hearing was printed in the Daily Herald newspaper on 2 occasions. The certificate of publication is maintained in the records of this matter. A referendum was passed on April 5th, 2011, authorizing the city of Wooddale to adopt an ordinance and governance plan to aggregate electrical loads for residential and small commercial retail customers within the corporate limits of the city as an opt-out program. Under the opt-out program, the city would procure competitive pricing on behalf of accounts proposed to be aggregated upon award of the bid. All applicable accounts will be moved. However, individual customers would have the option to opt out of the aggregation for whatever reason. The purpose of the hearings is to obtain input on the plan of operation and governance for applicable residents and small businesses within the city. Mr. Murmas, can you provide some overview, please?
Just as an update and an add-on to what you had stated, after the second public hearing, the city will then be able to go out for a bid. We're planning to go out for bid September 1st, actually the morning of September 1st, with bid results being ratified, hopefully that night at the council meeting. After this meeting, then there's a mandatory, I know this isn't the correct term, but a cooling off period where notifications must be sent to residents, notifying them of the potential billing switch. Residents hopefully can expect to see the savings early this fall. We can expect to see somewhere in the ballpark of 20 to 25% savings for Wooddale residents.
Thank you, Mr. Murmas. Is there anyone interested in addressing the city council regarding the plan of operation and governance? May do so at this time. Please approach the podium, state your name and address for the record. Okay. There being no further public comment, I will now entertain a motion to close the public hearing. A vote on the plan will be held later during this meeting.
So moved.
We don't need a motion. Alderman Wesley, do I have a second? Roll call.
Alderman Coles.
Yes.
Alderman Lazara.
Yes.
Alderman Shockey.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Winger.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Public hearing is now adjourned. Next, I'd like to call the city council meeting of August 18th to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Coles.
Here.
Alderman Lazara.
Here.
Alderman Shockey.
Here.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Here.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman Winger.
Here.
Alderman Woods.
Here.
Mayor Police.
Here. Quorum present, please stand and join us in I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up, approval of minutes, city council meeting, August 4th, 2011. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second? Roll call.
Alderman Winger.
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Coles.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky.
Yes.
Alderman Shockey.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Lazara.
Yes.
Motion passes. Do we have any citizens that wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda tonight?
Yes.
Please go to the podium, state your name and address.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Joe Petrella, 300 North Catalpa. And I'd just like to take a moment of your time to briefly bear with me. I want to share with you a story and a journey I've gone through over the last 3 years. In August of 2008, after a rainstorm, I had some significant flooding in my house. I had about 2 inches of water in my basement, about $6,000 worth of damage. The only home on Catalpa Avenue that flooded. That was a Friday afternoon. Later on that Friday afternoon, Public Works came out, took a look at the sewer pipe, the storm sewer pipe, and it had a significant blockage in it. They cleared the pipe, saw a major difference in my basement. Water started moving out, but unfortunately the damage was done. After that, obviously nothing else was done to the storm sewer pipe. Christmas of 2009, Christmas Day, I remember it vividly because I spent Christmas Day outside. After a cool off, after a warming period and a significant melting of snow, my backup sump pump had to fire because the main sump pump couldn't keep up with the water that was flowing into my house. Went outside, dug out the snow off the sewer cap, and saw that the storm sewer again was at the top and when it was backed up. Had to call non-emergency 911, had to bring a police officer out, and he contacted Public Works. They came out, and once again, on Christmas Day, blew the storm sewer line out. So that was the second time. Third time was July 23rd of this year, after the torrential rains we had. Once again, I was the only home on Catalpa with the flood. Another $5,000 damage, another $1,000 deductible out of my pocket. That began the journey to bring me here today. Storm sewer pipe was broken. After 3 or 4 days, after the help of Mike Sismarski, Eugene Wesley, Public Works came out, scoped the pipe, and it was broken. I believe that that pipe was broken for 3 years, and I was very, very frustrated and very disappointed that after 2 previous times, nobody took the time to really significantly look at the pipe and see what was wrong. I am the only house on that block that has this problem. I have invested a significant amount of money in my sump pump. I have a very high-powered half-horsepower main sump pump, and I have about $3,000 invested in a trusty Warren sump pump. Neither one of those pumps can keep my basement from flooding on the night of the 23rd because the storm sewer was cracked. So obviously, Public Works has corrected it. The storm has been fixed. I truly believe that it was only on the insistence and the persistence of myself and the support of Mike and Eugene that somebody took it serious and came out and looked at it. Unfortunately, the damage is done. Once again, another $5,000 damage, another $1,000 out of my pocket, 4 weeks without a significant portion of my basement. As of today, it's done. A little bit of hard labor on my part. It's back up and done. But my question to the city council is why did it take 3 times for someone to realize that there's probably a problem with this storm sewer pipe, which I believe from my understanding, and Eugene shared this with me, may be up to 50 years old. I'm at the beginning of the line. I see no reason why I should have had this happen 3 times in a row. So therefore, I'd like to know what is the plan to maintain the storm sewers within the city. I'd like to know what is the plan to have the storm sewer reconstructed on the 300 Catalpa block. I understand that we're somewhere on the plan. It's going to happen soon, but it is very, very frustrating that I've had to go through this twice. I've met a few times with Al Steffen. Bill Blecky's been to my house twice. He's actually given me a plan on how I can regrade one side of my house, the north side of my house, to help keep the water away from my foundation. I do believe I have an issue with my neighbor that's to the north of me. His property sits at least 4 to 6 inches, in some spots higher than mine, and his runoff from his property was actually the cause of some of my flooding, actually both times, all 3 times. It's unfortunate because 2 sump pumps cannot fight Mother Nature. They cannot fight the backup of another sump pump and then the runoff from my neighbor. So it's very frustrating. I love being in Wooddale, purposely significantly chose Wooddale to move here from Bensenville for many reasons, not only being Wooddale, school districts and so forth, but I really truly believe that I'm probably not the only resident in Wooddale that has had this problem, probably not the only resident in Wooddale that lives on a block with storm sewers that are extremely aged. It's fixed. Hopefully it'll never happen again, but I do believe the ultimate and final solution is a reconstruction of the storm sewers on the 300 block at Catalpa. So once again, Michael, thank you. Eugene, Bill, I know Al Steffen's not here. You guys have been very, very, very beneficial in me getting this resolved. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Okay. Next is written communiques. I have none. Under Mayor's report. Under Mayor's report, I'd like to thank all the volunteers, police, city services, city staff, council members for all their work on Prairie Fest this past weekend. It was a success. We'll be getting the numbers within, I believe, a couple of weeks. Right, Brad? But without the help of the sponsors, we couldn't have manage the fest without all that help. Next up is, had a few calls about mosquitoes in town. I'm sure some of the residents, the aldermen are also receiving those. I believe we do 3 with an option for 4. We did all 4 this year. But maybe something we should talk about for the future when we have excessive rain.
Here.
Alderman Eugene Wesley.
I will tell you that we did use everything that was used for this year. We did talk to Clark Mosquito, and if we have to do a 5th, we would find the money to do a 5th down the line. But everything that we budget for is spent already on mosquito. But me and John and Clark did talk, and they would let us know when they think we might have to have another one.
Alderman Roy Wesley.
Since you brought up about mosquitoes, the city sent out a notice about their spraying for mosquitoes. I've been getting complaints from residents that they don't see the truck when maybe they're sleeping or whenever the truck comes down. Do we have records that they sprayed on those streets and the time that they went down that street, like a GPS on those vehicles?
Before I refer to Alderman Wesley, I did talk to Mr. Kramer about that because I had a couple residents say the same thing.
Don't point, please. Don't go like that.
Oh, sorry, Italian habit. Basically, the trucks, some type of new equipment that they don't hear them now. That's what Mr. Kramer had told me, but Alderman Wesley might be able to talk on the GPS.
They did a energy for their trucks. It's a more quiet vehicle. All the trucks have GIS system or GPS on it. We have no problem providing the council with those reports if they would like them. But they are monitored and they have to report on what route they went, what street. And it does tell you what time they went down those streets. So if there is a concern, we'll be more happy to address that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next, manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have 2 items. First off, the city will be conducting its sanitary smoke testing beginning August 22nd. So I'd like residents, do not be alarmed if you do observe this. It's being performed by the city's consultant on this project, RJN. I believe a reverse 911 will be sent to the areas that the work is being done, as well as some written communications. My second item, just want to echo what Mayor Police had said. Prairie Fest was a complete success. Much of that owed to the volunteerism from elected officials, staff members, not to mention the residents who also make the fest what it is. So I was proud to be a part of that fest. And every year the staff truly outdoes themselves. That concludes my report.
Next is the consent agenda. We have no items. We go to committee chairman reports. Alderman Winger, Planning and Zoning.
Mr. Mayor, I have no report.
No, wait, we got one item.
What? I'm sorry, I have the old
Oh.
agenda. Okay, I do have a report. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to make a motion for a resolution approving an agreement providing Level 3 Communications LLC a license to install, construct, operate, and maintain a telecommunication facility.
That's your motion?
Yes,
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions?
yes,
Alderman Winger.
thank you. So can we recap the location of this facility?
Sure, if I may.
Mr. Bond.
Yeah, basically, just to give you a little bit of a background, Level 3 provides assistance to clients for backup data storage. They are going to install a fiber optic cable in the city right-of-way. For that privilege, they're paying a annual licensing fee to the city of $20,000 over a period of 10 years. It's going to be 711 Edgewood and 341 Hayne, Haynes Drive. And this is going to allow them to use their storage, that backup data. Again, it's much like the other utility easements that we have in the city. And I will tell you that this was a significantly larger license fee than they've given in other communities, but it will service those properties. Baxter and Woodman has had an opportunity to do the field and analysis and have determined that it's not going to interfere with any of the city, existing city services.
Thank you.
Alderman Eugene Wesley?
Brett, did you say that it's a $20,000 for 10 years?
It's an annual licensing fee of $20,000 for over the course of 10 years.
After 10 years, what happened?
Well, the assumption is there'll be technology, maybe we'll be in the cloud, as they say, or, some other technology. So it was one of those things where we'll revisit it in 10 years, or 10 years. So to determine, it could be extended, could be a new agreement, maybe there's different cable that's necessary. So it's just a matter of the emerging and changing technology. So that's a standard fare for these types.
Alderman Wesley, follow up?
I have a follow-up. So let me ask our engineer, since he's here today. So where this line is going, which you probably got a mic, there's no water lines under, there's no sewer lines under there, not even near these?
Mr. Black, could you go to the podium, please?
There's always utilities in any kind of public utility installation, AT&T, Comcast, Nicor. There's always going to be crossings of city utilities, water mains, and sanitary sewers, storm sewers. It's just an evaluation of the depth. They're going to directional bore. They're responsible for anything. They're notified of the conflicts, and they're responsible and have to notify Public Works when they're out there to install. It's the same as any other utility. The only difference in level 3 with AT&T or Comcast was the fact that we didn't have a franchise agreement with them, so we needed to get that agreement in place before we could permit the installation.
So my
ahead.
my concern about this, and I understand it's $20,000 to see. My concern is if that water line breaks and we dig there and we rupture this fiber line. and I-
They're responsible for maintenance and operation, just like any other utility. You know, Julie would be called. Same procedure as AT&T or Comcast or any other public utility.
I mean, that's my only concern, because I know what a fiber line is going to cost.
Right.
if We dig that thing up. Okay.
Mr. Bond?
Yeah, as the engineer indicated, that we are protected in that instance. They also have, the agreement provides that they're going to have insurance coverage as well. But if they do disturb any of our lines, then we'll be compensated, and to the extent that there's any disturbance, they're required to maintain their own fiber optic once installed.
Any other questions? Roll call?
Do I have a second on
Yeah. Alderman Woods.
it? Alderman Lloyd? Oh, my God. Hello.
Who's got the old paper now?
Jesus, yeah, you're right. Okay, that's nice. Give me this one. Sorry. Nah, I'll take this one. Okay, here we go. One more time. Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman R. Woods?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Nazara?
Yes.
That passes.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next up, Public Health and Safety, Alderman Coles.
I would like to make a motion on a resolution that we went over last time that we had a council meeting on the authorization of executive of intergovernment agreement between the city of Wooddale and O'Hara Noise Compatibility Commission. Do I have
Do I have a second
Second.
on the question? Alderman Shockey.
What are we agreeing with them?
Mr. Bond.
This is you actually approved the agreement at the last city council meeting. What you're doing tonight is simply ratifying that by way of a resolution, because there was not a resolution approving that on the last meeting. There is a timeline. They'd submitted it to us, and so that's why we acted relatively quickly at the last instance.
Alderman Shockey.
But what are we agreeing to?
I could.
Mr. Murmas, go ahead.
The ONCC is adding 5 new members, and we have to update the intergovernmental agreement every time they add new membership, so they're adding 5 new members.
Mr. Bond.
What they do is they request the existing members' approval for that, and there's a certain percentage under the intergovernmental agreement. It's not a unanimous, and my understanding is that they've already got the requisite number to allow these other communities to join. So, you know, what we do may be of no consequence, but as a spirit of cooperation, all the communities are requested to do this pursuant to the bylaws of the ONCC.
Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Woods? Yes. Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Lazara?
That passes.
That's the end of my committee.
Next up is Public Works, Alderman Eugene Wesley.
I have one report, Mayor. Approve a north wastewater treatment plant upgrade amendment number 1.
That's the old one.
After having a meeting with our consultant, that we made some tweaking of a plan, so our consultant is here if you care to address that. Improvement is promptly, wait a minute. Amendment for 28,500 to complete final design for, right?
28,000.
28,500, 28.5. So that is amendment on the plan for the treatment plant.
Do I have a second? Second. That's your motion, right?
Yes, that's my motion.
On the question, do we need Alderman Shockey?
Just one thing. 20 years from now, I can see the aldermen at that time asking themselves, why did the aldermen in 2011 allow that big dome to be by Irving Park Road, rather than trying to make a deal with the lumber company, which by that time will probably be gone, and it's going to look unsightly, and I still think that there should be a better way of doing it. Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Woods? Yes. Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes,
Alderman Lazara?
Motion passes.
that is the end of my report, Mayor.
Next up, Finance and Administration, Alderman Shockey.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Wilson, if you can come up to the podium. The first item is a resolution approving and providing for the execution of a master equipment lease purchase agreement for the acquisition of one international truck. And I'd like to thank you for changing in the revised edition agenda, changing the wording so that we understood better what we're doing. If there's anybody have any questions,
Is-
I'll make the motion. And
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any questions,
any questions for Mr. Wilson?
comments? Roll call, please.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes,
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Woods? Yes. Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Lazara?
That passes. Next item, number 2.
An ordinance, go ahead.
One second, Mr. Shockey. This item can be removed per the attorney. Mr. Bond, could you elaborate?
Yeah, we had taken, you had the public hearing last meeting. It's a two-step process. The first step is to authorize the existence of the aggregation load. That was done at our meeting, at the last council meeting on June 2nd. The next item is then to approve the governance part. So you don't need to take action on that again this evening. You will need to take action on the next item, however, on the agenda. And again, this was there was a new ordinance that was circulated, and in order to make sure we were in compliance with the Open Meetings Act for the 48-hour notice, we put that on there just to make sure that there were no changes. After reviewing the new ordinance that was submitted, We found that we covered all the items that are in that ordinance were covered at the last meeting on June 2nd, or on July 2nd.
Thank you.
So you do not need to take action on that. That can be removed from the agenda.
We'll go to item number 3 then. A resolution approving and providing for the electric power aggregation plan of operation and governance. I'll make that a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Lazara?
Yes.
Motion passes.
That's the end of my report. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Wilson.
Under other business, Alderman Roy Wesley? Yes.
It's come to my understanding that with the Elgin O'Hare Expressway that is on the table, that it's a possibility that they want the cities to pitch in some money to build the road. I'd like to know who from the city is going to those meetings. And I'd like to know before anyone suggests about paying for the road, that they're coming back to this council with a full report.
I'll answer that. I've been attending some of the meetings. Mr. Clicker has been attending the meetings, and it is going to be on our strategic planning, September 10th, correct, Mr. Murmas? We will be discussing that.
In return, as Mr. Clicker is attending these meetings, is he attending the meetings that you are not? I'm saying, if you're not available, is he going on your behalf and speaking for the city of Wooddale?
He's at all the meetings. I've been going to the task force meetings when, actually, everybody received the booklet. And basically, there was a letter, also letters that were just sent out reiterating that we're not in favor of value capture, we're not in favor of cost sharing, and that's all going to be discussed. The council's going to have to discuss that on September 10th.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Shockey, yes.
Just to follow up, does Mr. Klinger have a vote in that committee?
No, he does not.
So it's up to you to make sure you're there.
And I will not vote unless you guys approve of something.
Thank you.
And just to bring it up, tonight is the IDOT first public hearings. So, since we had the meeting tonight, otherwise I would have been there tonight. Mr. Wesley, go ahead.
Is it to my understanding that Western Access is not a done deal yet either?
The Western Terminal is not a done deal. That's what the communities are pushing for.
Okay.
Anything else on the other business? Okay. Next up, approval of list, oh. Mr. Lazara.
I'd just like to make basically a public announcement. We went to tour the control tower last week, and just one really interesting note, there is a website called o'harenoise.org that you can find your property just by going over the tabs and looking for property locator. You go under that, you click on that, you put in your address, and that'll tell you how many times a plane flew over your house, what the decimals were. So if you're interested in seeing, if you think you have some noise from planes, this will tell you exactly how many planes have flown over your home. Thanks.
Thank you. Alderman Shockey, yes.
Again, as a follow-up, the numbers are given, the decibels, that's an average. So if there's 10 flights, they're taking the average of those 10 flights. One may be 75 decibels, and one may be 15. They're going to average it out.
Anything further? Next up, approval list of bills. Alderman Shockey.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills of July 21st, 2011. That was the general fund for $211,968.17. The road and bridge fund, $135. The motor fuel tax fund, $20,490.45. Tourism Fund, $3,225.07. Capital Projects Fund, $336,066.02. Sanitation Fund, $75,132.18. And the Water and Sewer Capital Projects, $5,929.35. The Water and Sewer Fund, $87,768.17. The Special Service Area Fund, $650. And the Grants Fund, $57.66, for a total of $741,422.07. That's my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions? Alderman Roy Wesley?
Page eight, Federal Express package shipping.
Oh, is this the recent one? Oh, we haven't gotten to that yet. We still have that one to do.
Okay. I'll wait.
And I'd also like to make a motion for, to pay the list of bills for August 18th, 2011. General Fund, $122,495.73. Road and Bridge Fund, $1,011.92. Motor Fuel Tax Fund, $58,653.74. Tourism Fund, $2,012.55. The Narcotics Fund, $789.61. Capital Projects Fund, $65,463.45. Equipment Replacement Fund, $21,918. Commuter Parking Lot Fund, $13.57. Sanitation Fund, $75,132.18. Water and Sewer Capital Projects, $53,669.61. Water and Sewer Fund, $71,785.93. And the Special Service Area Fund, $159,886.25.
And before we make
For a
that
total-
motion,
$632,832.54.
okay, before we make that a motion, we need a roll call on the first list of bills.
Oh, we didn't take it. I thought you do that.
For the 741,000.
I make the motion.
A second. Ready?
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman Chalky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
No.
Alderman Lazara?
Yes.
Motion passes. Alderman Shockey, is that your motion for August 18th then?
For $632,832.54.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Alderman Roy Wesley had a hand up?
a question.
Yes.
Page eight, Federal Express,
Mr. Wilson?
5899.
Go ahead, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's actually two packages in that price there. Both were sent by the Finance Department. One was actually to our auditors, the audit confirmations. The other was to GFOA for the budget award. Both were sent that way just to ensure that they got there and we know who got there in case somebody claimed they got lost or something to that effect. Just a little added security on the delivery of those particular packages.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Shockey?
On page 1, asked about this a little earlier, but gas, cost of gas came out to $6.41.
Mr. Wilson?
Thank you. Fortunately, that particular check was in the bag, the invoices that you signed earlier. There were actually two components to that particular invoice. Also, I apologize, let me get there.
Diesel fuel.
Yeah, the one for the $7,054.76 and the $69.26.85, there was regular fuel as well as diesel fuel on both of those invoices. Unfortunately, one got represented there. The actual cost for those was anywhere from 312 to 332 after it
Okay.
actually got broken down. So fortunately for us, it was not the 621 that you were seeing if you just did the raw math. So
Thank you, appreciate that. And on page, hold on. Page 15. We have refund check to Maher Lumber.
Mr. Wilson?
Usually we get the refunds. We're paying a refund check to Maher.
correct. They had, trying to remember the exact specifics, but they had an old utility billing account. I think it was an irrigation meter that they had closed out, and we always take a deposit on the account. And so the deposit's $50 that we refund net of any outstanding bills that they had. So that being said, they would have had a balance of $14.86 on the account, which we accounted for first and then refunded them the remainder of the $50 deposit.
Okay, and on page 19, just for public knowledge, our vendor for garbage pickup, yard waste, $12,400, recycling service, $12,600. I'd just like to remind the people out there that we are paying a good amount for the recycling. Make sure they do put their recycled paper and metal, glass, whatever, in the recycled barrels. And last question I have is on page 21, St. Auburn Nurseries.
Mr.
I
Wilson?
take it those are Parkway trees?
Go ahead.
Correct. They were Parkway trees. I believe I mentioned earlier, if you're looking at the invoice, there was 3 of them. But there was some installation and removal of the old trees. I presume they're damaged in the storm. Looking at the date of the invoice, it was kind of in the timing of the storm in there, so.
Oh, so that's the cost of removing the old trees.
Installing
As
the new
well as-
ones as well as the cost of the physical tree itself.
All right, that's all I have, thank you.
One question.
Alderman Roy Wesley?
For the garbage service, I don't remember seeing the recycling service of, is this per month? I don't remember seeing the dollar amount of how much they're going to charge for recycling service. I thought that was going to be like a wash for us recycling. I don't remember seeing that in the contract.
Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, each of the 3 services has a specific rate per household that we're charged. I can pull up the contract and
talking
send you a
about the-
copy if you'd like.
I'm talking about the contract with the city,
Correct.
so I'd like to see that contract.
Sure.
And page 1, Ardmark City Hall mat service, is that quarterly, monthly, for $196.72?
Mr. Wilson?
I will double check, but to the best of my recollection, that's monthly. It's the mats that we have in front of the different windows here throughout City Hall and on the landings. Aramark comes and changes those out for us every month, gives us fresh, clean ones.
Once a
They
month?
go back once a month, correct?
So we're paying $192 for mats.
Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, just informationally, that number was significantly higher about a year ago, and we kind of beat them up, and because they had a lot of mats around that just weren't getting used in various areas, especially in the lobby. So we took out probably 10 or 15 mats from what they were exchanging to bring that number back down to a somewhat more reasonable number. So, but if that's something you want us to look at again, we can. But we have been working on bringing that down, especially in the summer. In the winter, need a couple more, just the snow and the salt and stuff. But in the summer, we could probably work it down a little bit more if we had to.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further? Roll call?
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Holmes?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Lazara?
That passes. Next up is executive session. This is going to be a recess. I need a motion to recess the executive session to review the official minutes, collective bargaining, and personnel. Do I have a motion?
Make that motion.
All in favor? We need a roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
We're all set.
Okay, I'd like to call the council meeting of August 18th back to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Coles?
Here.
Alderman Lazara? Here. Alderman Shockey?
Here.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Here.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Here.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Here.
Alderman Winger?
Here.
Alderman Woods?
Here.
Mayor Police?
Here. Quorum present. We have one item left, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a labor agreement between the city of Wooddale and Teamsters Local 700. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second? Okay, Frank, second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
Alderman Woods? Yes. Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Lazara?
That passes.
That's it?
I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.
No, no kidding. You guys all say that this